Hispanic Heritage Month is a cultural scam. Let me say that again. Hispanic Heritage Month is a cultural scam. Hispanic Heritage Month was created in the late 60s by the US government. And like promises of glory, the decade for the Hispanic, there's a joke out there by the great vaudevillian Chicano comedic group Culture Clash. They said, the decade of the Hispanic turned out to be a weekend sponsored by Coors. Think about that. And that's it. That's it. I say, and I am always honest with this, I celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month 364 days out of the year. As this channel, we are set up to celebrate, spotlight, challenge all those you can think of in regards to Latino culture, the experience, the beauty, the art, the music, etc. Every day. Every day. And to belittle that for a corporate filter of just sick piñata level souvenirs of 30 days is absolutely ridiculous. Now, before I really go down that, let me give you some positives. Locally, on a local level, right? Here in the United States, Hispanic Heritage Month, like Cinco de Mayo, a lot of provinces, municipalities will have events. They'll hire people, restaurateurs, food, fairs. They'll put up events for that. Musicians, dancers, mariachis. And I think that's wonderful. I actually really love that because you are hiring people to do something beautiful in showing off their culture. I think that's great. I'd like it to be year-round, but listen, these musicians make a lot of, like I'd say months and months worth of rent and bills are paid because of Hispanic Heritage Month. I get it. I get it, man. I'm not trying to player hate on that. It's the game. It's the game. So all those things that I just told you, those exist year-round at restaurants, at fairs, at concerts with these wonderful musical acts here in the United States that are, of different backgrounds. And in this example, we have the great bands Los Lobos, Santana, Ozo Motley, Las Cafeteras, ¿qué más? Wonderful acts that have come here, Del Castillo, Adrian Casada, Salsa, all these bands. Those are available all year long, and you should add those to your cultural palette. Okay, so that's where I'll give it some leeway. Here's the skinny, guys. Corporates don't give a shit about any of that stuff. Corporates want to own it. They want to control it. They want to sell it, and they want they want you to keep on coming back for more. It's like that One Piece teaser that we were watching earlier. It was empty. It was garbage. There was nothing to it, but they're going to keep you sucking on that teat so you come on back for more. It's like the nasty part of capitalism. This is where I get very, rebellious here. Don't commerce my fucking culture. Because when you do that, and the way you market it, we're a piñata. And I love piñatas, don't get me wrong. But we do piñatas all year long. But then what? After all the fanfare's done, everything's cleaned up, we don't got shit, what, for another 11 months? Maybe till Cinco de Mayo? Maybe Day of the Dead? So the commercialization of this is just out of control, to where one year the great movie studios, Disney, they tried to copyright the holiday Day of the Dead. Now, I, along with other people in the Chicano and Latino community, raised our fist against that. You can't do that. That's our cultura. That's a sacred, holiday. It's a thing that we do now. And they backed off. They tried to copyright. I look it up. They tried to copyright Dia de los Muertos. But they didn't relent. Soon thereafter, they created Coco. They got cultural advisors. They got the right brown people hired. So we couldn't come after them. And it turned out to be a good product. But now they got the Coco IP. They got the Coco Dia celebration every year at Disney. They made their own Dia de los Muertos, and they've commercialized it every year. Now it's getting bigger and bigger. That's the same thing with Hispanic Heritage Month. It's a complete cultural scam. And I find it pretty disgusting at times. Now, I expect that from these corporations. What I don't like it is with the Latinx gatekeepers. And you know who you are. You know who you are because you get promises of gold, of fame and fortune and power, but hold the door. Don't let anyone else in, like people like Polly or people like other independent artists, because, we can't control them. They're not our type of Latino. You are. So, you might get a panel. They might, create an event, a weekend for you. And really, all you're doing is talking to each other. You're bullshitting about a culture to each other. And it's the same thing. Maybe it falls away from the culture and it goes into like, we got to vote. Oh, this political or social calamity. Then you start identifying with the things that they love for you to identify with, which is your victimhood, your identity. You become this fucking joke to them, but it's a perfect joke that they can control and they can make money off of year after year. Oh, they love it when you put on the victim. They love it. Then you play a song, you do a jig. They'll make money off of it. Shoo. And they have, because the Latinx gatekeepers allow it. Keep on allowing it. And, again, they'll give them some money. Listen, they'll give them a lot of money to be influencers. I see those influencers influencing each other, smelling each other's butts, talking to each other at these big panels, at these lavish places. It's all bullshit. Because all that time and energy, you could be creating more Alejandro Montoya Marins and the unexpected independent movies to be made. Not just one, but 100. Think of all that energy, all that money, all those panels, all that fashion, all that into films and TV shows and music that you own. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you got to be supporting. Anything else is garbage. It's indeed lipstick on a piñata. So I haven't celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month in years, and I ain't gonna change that. There's something to be said about talking the talk and walking the walk, right? You're so about the Latino culture. You're so about the heritage. Get that money and put it up and get those films made. Not just films, but the art, right, in general. And there are people there. It's happening. You know, Rodriguez has done that for a long time. Alejandro Montoya Marin is now doing that. But you'll find, too, in the independent world, people from different backgrounds supporting each other. And that ultimately is great. You know, this is not an organic celebration. You know, this whole Hispanic Heritage Month, it's not something that happened organically. And as a guy that wants less government, I don't want a government thing, another thing where it's telling me when and where I can celebrate, how to celebrate, who to celebrate. And, you know, like, hey, watch your words, Polly. Fuck that. The Slant. This is where I get to celebrate. This is who I can have anyone who I want on. I can talk have any opinions I want, cover any things. And you know what? I love covering everything, as you guys know. And they see our numbers. Slow and steady growth. Slow and steady importance that we have. And I'm just one of many other people that are out there doing our own thing, and they can't stand it because they don't control it. How do we make money from this? That's Hispanic Heritage Month, man. I'm telling you. And I'm not down with it. And honestly, I'm not down with Black Heritage months, right? I'm talking about, I'm down with the idea of like knowing our history and our collective culture. No. But all this, it's gone out of hand. And at the end of the day, the corporation, the government, all that, they don't give a shit about you. I do.